And you've been in business for all this period, I think, and you've set up you have a, what's it called? You have a, what's it called, part of your company running in New York, you have a part of it running in New Delhi, you have a part of it running in Kenya. How exactly are you able to keep apart, what's it called, just monitor the business across the 3 different continents?
I know. Very interesting question you've asked me, and a very nice question. Definitely, for a person like you, it's baffling.
Yeah, because I've not done it yet.
It's baffling.
Yes.
Truly, it is baffling. The kind of business I do, I source worldwide, globally. That's where I was trained. How I was trained? I was a representative of many important manufacturers from Europe. At that time, Eastern Europe, China was not there. This is in the 80s. We were the market for Europe.
True.
So, and I understudied these people. I worked with them closely.
Yeah.
Every time I had an opportunity to pick them from the airport, I had an opportunity to go and visit a client. We were having time in the car to talk.
Yeah.
In the evening, when my principal would invite me for a drink,
True.
I would very heartily accept, because that gives me a time to know more. I'm learning. It's not a classroom.
Mm.
These things are not taught in classrooms, in schools and colleges.
Yeah.
You learn on the job.
True.
So, when all this was happening, a question always baffled me, and I was fed up of writing reports.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say so, but at a point comes we were in a colony in India. Until today we feel discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the States where I live with my family. My child has gone through that. Yeah. But how do we fight it? We fight it by doing better than them. We say, I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I want to prove I'm better than you. And that's how we fight it. Mm-hmm. And I said, if he can do this, why can't I do it?
All right.
All the time I ask this question, why can't I do it? You can do it, why can't I do it? So I was on my way to Mexico to visit a company. And I went to the embassy to get my visa.
Yeah.
They were a bit surprised. What is this man going to look for in Mexico?
Yeah.
They had zero trade. So it all started from there, that thought.
Mm-hmm.
By that time I was married.
Yeah.
I walked into a bank. At that time the bank was called the Chemical Bank.
True.
So my brother-in-law he's an orthopedic surgeon there.
Yeah.
He was doing some work. He left me at a guest relation desk and we started chatting with the gentleman who was there. So he says, what do you do in Africa? He thought all Africans are like me, you know, with a black color and a black turban.
True,
I said, no, I'm an Indian immigrant in Kenya. Kenyans are indigenous Africans, like the African Americans you have there.
Yeah.
Thank you to former President Barack Obama and our marathon runners in Boston and New York who may put Kenya on the map of USA.
So at least they got to recognize it.
You know how it was in India?
Yeah.
When I went there in 89-90, so it all started from there and he gave me some tips. When I picked those tips, I said, okay, let me set up an office here.
Interesting. So you actually, from your experiences in the grooming of the companies that you worked for, that's how exactly the dream came to be.
That if these people can do it from Europe, why can't I do it?
Interesting.
And most of the Indians from here, they have some kind of roots in UK.
True.
I didn't have any roots in UK.
Yeah.
So I was doing business with the company in US, I was doing business with the company in Mexico. I said, how can I start a company here then? It's so easy.
Interesting.
You know,
yeah.
I like that country because they give so much respect to a small business. Mm. A small business in America is $1 million to $10 million.
True.
In that category, it's a small business.
Wow.
But there's a lot of money here.
Yeah, it is. It's $1 billion. It's a big company.
Okay, yes. but you can't get to those numbers.
True.
The business doesn't mean you have to do a $1 million deal or a $5 million deal. You can do $5,000, $3,000.
Yeah.
Now the entire Kenyan diaspora is there. They're doing so many kinds of businesses.
True.
And the institutions are so strong there.
Yeah.
When I say institutions, the law is so strong.
True.
You can't run away.
True.
With a credit line.
True. Interesting.
The law is tough.
And it's a different.
If you remember when former President Barack Obama came here and he addressed we Kenyans and Kasarani, he says, yes, American businesses will come and do business with you. Mm-hmm. But they'll ask you tough questions.
True.
Be ready to answer the tough questions.
Wow, interesting. So it's maybe this because time is literally moving so fast. I know you.
I know we have so much to talk.
Yeah, I know there's so much to talk. Yeah.
Eventually, I ended up with all that stories and experience incorporating in August '89.
Yeah.
And I had 4 months. My wife was a lecturer in the university here. I said, Madam, you've got to resign now.
Interesting. So at least you get to move together.
So we have to move together.
Wow.
The baby was almost 8-9 months.
Yeah.
I said, this is the time to do it.
Wow.
If he'll get a little older and I get in the comfort zone of getting a sweet, big, fat paycheck, I'll never start my own.
Wow.
Once you get into that comfort zone of getting a big, fat, sweet paycheck,
You'll never start
you
it.
will never
No, it's
start.
actually quite true.
Yeah, yeah.
My goodness. Because time was literally just flown away. And
So,
I think...
1990, I landed
yes.
there,
Yeah.
but it was rough.